Welcome back to another interesting tutorial. My name is OJ and you are welcome to my YouTube channel. Today's video we are going to be learning how to recreate this beautiful style that you see on the screen right now. If you have not subscribed to this YouTube channel, please do it to like and subscribe so that you don't miss out on any one of these our tutorials. Please watch this video to the end. Let me know your thoughts on the comment section. Like this video and don't forget to subscribe. Enjoy!
So here I have my fabric folded for both for back and for front. This one on top is for the back, right? Then the one for the front is what we have under. So before I place the one for the back, as you can see, I measure 1.5 inches. I measure 2 inches here. So you can make use of 1 inch here, but because this removed thread, you can see the way it's removing. So I needed to be on the safe part. So that's why I measure 2 inches here. So after measuring the 2 inches, then I place the back one on top this way, right? So this I have folded, and this one too I also have it folded. The front one is what we are going to cut open, right? Because there's going to be slit at the front. Hope that is clear. I'll be coming down 1 inch for the guideline, so you can make use of 1/2 inch, but I'm going to make use of 1 inch. So I'll come down. So this is the guideline. I'll be using 3.5 inches for the neck width. Then shoulder divided by 2 is 8 inches. So mark it here. Then I'll measure what is left here for this folding. So what I have here left is 15 inches. So this 15 inches is what I'm going to be using for the sleeve. It's cut together with the sleeve, right? So I'm just going to leave it this way. So I'll come to this top part. So at the edge here, I'm going to be coming down for my slope. So I will make use of 1.5 inches for my shoulder slope. I'll come down 1.5 inches for the shoulder slope, right? I'll be connecting it to the neck width. I'll be coming down for my sleeve opening. So from here, I'll come down 14 inches for the sleeve opening. So you can actually make use of 11, 12 to 13 inches. But whatever thing you are using here, you have to consider your seam allowance, right? So for me, I'm going to make use of the sleeve opening. I'm going to make use of 12.5 inches for, or let's say I will make use of 12 inches. Then the side seam allowance, I'm going to be making use of 2 inches for side seam allowance. That's 14 inches. So that's why I'm coming down 14 inches. So I'm going to be using 2 inches to sew, to use for my side seam allowance. So whatever thing you make use of, you just come down, include your seam allowance to sew the sleeve into the side. Hope that is clear. So from here now, from the shoulder, I'm going to be coming down for my hip. So this 14 inches here will serve as our chest, right? That's where the that's where the kimono curve is going to be on. So I'll just indicate it here. Then I'll be coming down for my waist. I'm just going to indicate this waist measurement here because that's where I'm going to pass the rope on. Hope that is clear. The rope that makes the front for the front to be fitted. So I'm going to indicate it on the waist. So my waist, I'm going to make use of 18 inches. Then the hip, shoulder to hip is 27 inches. So this is it, 27 inches. The full length of this, I'm going to make use of 60 inches. Then I'll add 2 inches to it. That 2 inches is to hem it at the down part. So shoulder to knee, I'm going to make use of 39 inches for the knee. And that's where we are going to start the curve. So you can either start it at this knee area, or you can check between the hip to the knee, the midpoint of it, and connect your curve to that place. Hope that is clear. But I'm going to curve it to the knee area. So on this knee area, the bigger circumference of this person is the hip. So the hip circumference divided by 4 is what I'm going to be using here. And the measurement is going to be starting from this back own, not from the front. The front own, this excess we have here is for because of the slit, as I've explained. So the hip circumference divided by 4 is 11.5 inches. Mark it here, 11.5 inches. Then I will be adding 5 inches to that. So these 5 inches include the seam allowance, the 2 inches seam allowance. Then we have 3 inches left for the ease allowance, right? So the total measurement we have here is 16 inches. So I can just make it 17 inches. So this is 17 inches. That means I added 5.5 inches on it. So if I remove 2 inches for my side seam, I'm left with 3.5 inches. That is for the ease because it's boo gown, right? So this 17 inches I have on the knee area, I'm going to connect it straight to the hem part here, which is the length, right? The full length. Now, at this 14 inches that we came down for the sleeve opening, I'm going to be coming in from the side. You can input the measurement, the total measurement you have at the shoulder, right? That's the shoulder plus the sleeve that you measure. You can input it here. Then from there, I'm going to be coming in. I'm going to be coming in 5 inches. So I'll indicate the 5 inches here. So I can just make use of 6 inches. So we indicate the 6 inches here. Hope that is clear. I'm so sorry that this thing is not really obvious, but just follow what I'm doing. So this 6 inches now, that's where I'll connect it straight to my waist this way, right? Then from my waist, I'm going to curve the boo shape, right? So I will have my shape like this into my knee area. So you can see the way I curve it here. So just follow the curve like this. Follow the curve like this, then curve it, then goes to the knee area like this. So that's it. So this is all you need for this tie. For the back neck depth, I'm going to make use of 3.5 inches. I will make use of 3.5 inches and indicate it here like this. I'll be connecting it to the neck width. The back neck depth is going to be 1 inch, so I'll connect it like this too. So remember, this is for the front, and this one here, the one down is for the front, while the one up here is for the back. Hope that is clear. So the neck depth is going to come like this. Then this is for the back. So I'll cut out. So don't forget to include your shoulder seam allowance. Your shoulder seam allowance to join the front and the back together. Here I'm going to make use of 1 inch for my shoulder seam allowance here. This is it. I've already cut it out. So my table is not wide enough, so I have to place it down for you to see the curving area, right? So this is the one for the back, and this is the one for the front. And I've also opened it up. So I've slashed it open. You can see the ones I removed. So I've slashed it open. This is the 2 inches that we added, right? Then I've also cut this, so I'll just remove it like this. You can see the way I follow the curve. This is my knee area, right? This is the knee area, and this is the hip area, and this is where we have as our chest. So you can see the way I follow the curve. I came in 6 inches here, then curve it, make it a little bit straight here, then curve, right? You can see the way I curve it to meet the knee area. So this is what we have. So I'll remove this. And also I came down 1.5 inches for the slope, then went up 1 inch for my shoulder seam allowance to join the back and front together. So this is also going off. Then for the back neck, the neck width is 3.5. The back neck depth is 1 inch. I've removed that. Then for the front, remember the one down is the one for front. The front neck depth is 3.5 inches. So I've removed this. So this is what we have now. right? So this is the full what is left for us, right? So I'm going to remove this and I'm going to open this up. Then for the front one, this one for the front, I'm going to be cutting facing for it, right? So I'll cut facing for the necklines for both for the front and for the back. Then I'm also going to sew this with my seam allowance that are the 2 inches seam allowance the end to where I want the slit to start from, right? So I'll stop where I want the slit to start from. Then from there, I will leave it open. I'll whip it later on. So here is the facing for the front. So this is the front where there is opening, and this is the facing for it, right? So you can see I measure 3 inches, then curve it this way. So this is the one for the front. Then I iron my stay on it. So I'm going to open this, then I'm going to be turning the neck, right, with half inch, then top stitch on it, then flip it to the wrong side. You can use your whipping machine to whip this area here, right? Then this is for the back. I've also cut the facing for the back too. And this is the facing for the back, right? So the facing for the back is just going to be in this way, right? Then the one for the back, because the back does not have opening, I'm not going to open it. So I'm just going to place it right side face each other this way. To turn your facing, place the right side face each other this way. Sew with half inch, then top stitch on the facing, then turn it to the other side. Hope that is clear. Then you can use your whipping machine to whip this area here, or you just fold it in this way. So I'm going to do that, then come back to show you. I've already sewed the facing on it. So this is the facing. You can see how I've sewn it. So I use my bias to pipe it because I don't have a whipping machine here. So I've already sewn this on both sides. Remember, for the front we have opening at the front because of the slits, right? So I'll place the right side face each other the way I've placed it this way. I'm going to use my hemi gun to gum this to the bodies this way, so this does not flip off as it is now. So I'm just going to measure down. I'm going to measure down the slit at the upper part. So you see that there is a slit at the upper part, right? So just measure down whatever measurement you want to use. For me, you remember the inches we use here. We use neck depth of 3.5, and we've also used half inch to turn. That is total of 4 inches, right? So I'll just come down between 5 to 3 inches, right, to make the full length, the full. Okay, so I will just do 4 inches or 4.5 inches to make it a full neck depth of 8 to 9 inches is fine. So from there, I'm going to measure the 2 inches that we added here. So I will sew it all the way to where I want the slit to stop, right? So I will just choose between this down part here. I'm going to hem it. I will hem the down part. I'll just fold it one on one this way, right? Then I will measure up. I can use between 14 to 12 inches is fine. Then from there, I will sew it to stop there, then top stitch there, right? So then I'll give it a good press, then use my hemi gun to hold it inside like this. Hope that is clear. So I will do that. Then I've also joined. So this is the one for the back. I've also used the facing to also turn the neck as well. This is what we have. Then I top stitch on the facing as I've mentioned, then top stitch the just top stitch the seam allowance to the facing as you are seeing right now. So this is what we have. So I'm going to place the front and the back right side face each other. Then I will sew the shoulders. This is the shoulders, remember. Then we'll sew the shoulders with our seam allowance. I make use of 1 inch seam allowance. I'm going to use that to sew the shoulders. Then I will going to sew the side. I will starting from this sleeve area here. I will sew it with I will use my seam allowance to sew it this way, following the curve, right? I'll place the right side face each other, then following the curve, I'll use my seam allowance to sew the side with my side seam allowance. So I'll sew it to the down part.